already welcomed you, but welcome again to this milestone event. To be standing here today is a dream come true. For years, I visualized standing here on this stage with all of you. Our family members, our members, parents, and with all the great individuals that work within the compound. Our MC family is like no other. We like each other, we love each other, and we genuinely want to hang out with each other all the time. Our family consists of young and seasoned musicians, beginners to advanced, dreamers and doers, chief of households, and experienced individuals with a passion for inspiring and educating others. I am frequently asked, what instrument do you play? Well, until a year ago, my answer was none. Thanks to my wonderful teacher, Erin, I now play ukulele. But prior to that, I was not a musician nor an educator. And when I told them I owned a music studio, I always got a weird look. And they'd always say, how does that happen? And my response was, well, the market was crashing, I had a mortgage to pay, and I had no choice but to go and get a job and wait tables. I was surrounded by musicians that wanted a place to connect, interact, and jam. I was in my final semester at USF, Sarasota Manatee, go Bulls, and I created a business plan. And that business plan was the concept of taking musicians and putting them into an environment that they got to do what they loved. When I thought about the budget, there was no way the musicians could pay for our studio on Calvin Road. There's no way. So I thought, how can we get this funded? How can it work for everyone? And I thought about my childhood. For those that you don't know, I had the best childhood ever. Thanks to my dad, Mike, right there, raise your hand. And my mother, Maria. Mom, please raise your hand. Why aren't you raising your hand? Okay. They gave me the best childhood. They invested in me. They put me in every single activity, after school, private school, 4-H, every club. Those skill sets taught me leadership. They taught me how to be a team player. They taught me about work ethic. They taught me about passion. And all of those skill sets went into me wanting to create a place for young musicians to connect, to interact, and to have a place of their own. They can have their own team and their own. So in 2009, I created the concept. Many of you heard it, but it was originally called Sarasota Academy of Music, SAM for short. When I created the concept, one of the only places to buy musical instruments was Sam Ash. So I was thinking Google lyrics back then. So in the other places, all they did was offer places to buy instruments. So after 6.5 years of fine-tuning that plan, I decided to open Music Compound. In 2016, which was a Monday, January 4th, I opened Music Compound. And that is when the hard work began. Prior to that, it was a one-man band. And until this day, it has taken so many individuals to make Music Compound happen. And I would really like to recognize all of those individuals in the room that started working for Music Compound in 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. If you guys could all rise, all of our Music Compound staff members, please. You trusted us, you gave us an opportunity, you advocated for us, and you grew with us. You are amazing, and I'm so thankful for you. And there's so many of our 2016-17 members in the crowd tonight. If you guys would please rise. We'd like to recognize you. Down here next. 2016-17, Ricky, Amanda, Greg, that's right, Leah. When I think of the growth of Music Compound, I think of a band. I think of a young musician or the solo artist that had a dream to play music with others on a stage like at Robards Arena. When the right goal. Focus, passion, hard work, and practice, it is possible. Everyone in this room has contributed to the success of that band. And I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It's truly an honor to be among the greatest rock stars of all time. Every single one of you that's in this room today. I told you I was going to cry. With that said, I would like to bring a few of those band members to the stage to share their music content journey. You will hear how they've been inspired through collaboration and education. First up is one of my best hires to date, not only at Music Compound, but during my past 15 years as a manager. She has 3 of the most valuable traits you want in someone in your organization: loyalty, drive, and work ethic. Kaylee has been part of our team since 2017. She has earned the respect and trust of our instructors and families. As many of you know, I don't walk, I run, and I run very fast. Many cannot keep up. Kaylee cannot only run circles around me, she finishes my sentences, communicates my thoughts, and she can drum on the tune of the board. She is the voice of reason, always. I am very proud of the leader she has become over the past 3 years. Please join me and welcome Kaylee Betts, our studio manager and drummer, to the stage. Awesome. Well, thank you, Jenny, for that amazing introduction. Unlike you, I have every intention not to cry tonight. And thank you guys all for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate it. What we're doing is all in celebration of the hard work we put in, but it's not at all possible without all of you guys. So thank you for being with us for all of the journey. Awesome. So, who here enjoyed walking through the maze? I too enjoyed walking through the maze. Putting it up this morning was a bit of a different story. When Jenny first told me a couple months ago that she wanted to put together a picture showcasing the entire experience of Music Compound, I thought she was crazy. When she told me 2 days ago that she wanted me to hang 400 posters with fishing lines, I thought she was crazier. But a good leader has a vision, a great leader has a team with a can-do attitude, and an amazing leader is going to bust their butt alongside that team to see that vision, that dream, become a reality. And Jenny is an amazing leader. So Jenny has already told you about the process, about how a college project became reality, how it grew and changed and pivoted, especially last year. So now I get to share my personal Music Compound story with you. Personally, I am incredibly grateful for Music Compound. I started at Music Compound in the October of 2017. I was finishing up my bachelor's in business degree, or bachelor's in business, online, and at the time I was a cashier, which, as you can imagine, is very exciting. So with a lot of anticipation and excitement, I printed out a cover letter and a resume and left it very carefully on the front desk of Music Compound. I wasn't really sure if there was even a position available at the time, but a day or two later, I was talking to Jenny on the phone. Within the week, I was inside the studio shadowing. And after that, I put my 2 weeks in at my old job and never went back. The first month was a total blur. Working in the music lounge, but also training at the front desk in the morning, and every weekend working a different event, sometimes 2. My parents kept asking me, they're like, what exactly is your job? And I said, well, right now it's everything, but I love it. At the time, I was finishing out my last semester in business school, and I kept
wondering if I was wasting my money on this degree, because in only a few weeks, I had learned more at music compound working with Jenny than I had in the entire 3 years of my business degree leading up to that. But it was more than learning about the business and how to do organic marketing, how to do sales. It was the way that I began to grow as a person. Tony Robbins says that if you're not growing, you're done. And in my time at Music Compound, I have done a lot of growing. The Kaylee that started 3.5 years ago was a shy girl with braces, who had a good heart, and even a lot of drive, but an unwillingness to speak up, and to have my voice heard. But talking to strangers at an event every single weekend, and calling out lists of 100 summer campers you've never met and asking them to join your camp again this year, has a way of getting you past that fear of speaking. I hope that everyone here has the opportunity to work with people that remind them daily that their voice deserves to be heard, and that their voice has value. But beyond my found confidence in Music Compound will always be special because of the people that it's brought to my life. I'm so fortunate to be able to call you all friends. I've developed many close friendships over the years with our staff and members, relationships that I'm pretty sure will last a lifetime. When my personal family was a little less than supportive of me, my MC family really stepped up. I will never forget the kindness, the hugs, the funny cards, and heartfelt advice I received during that trying time. It really helped me get through it. So I'd love to end with a heartfelt thank you to Jenny for having a vision and being the most amazing mentor in both business and in life. A thank you to all of our staff for being themselves. Each individual is beautiful and uniquely themselves, and I'm grateful that we have fostered an environment that caters to individuality and creativity. And finally, I want to say thank you to all of our members. Obviously, what we do wouldn't be possible without you, but it's so much more than that. You guys truly inspire me. Every time I see a student who swore they'd never get on stage or was terrified to even walk in the door, and then they're up on the stage like this performing, you inspire me. When I signed up a new student who just moved here 2.5 years ago, who really loves drums but needs to make some friends, and now that same student makes my day every single Monday night when they walk in my lobby, you inspire me. And when it's 5 a.m. on a Super Bowl Sunday, and quite possibly one of the coldest days in the year, but all of our family members and our members show up to play some music for some marathon runners, your dedication inspires me. Thank you all for everything that you do. I'm so grateful that I've gotten to be a part of this MC journey with you. Without further ado, I'd love to introduce you to one of our most amazing instructors, a woman who's been with us since the very beginning. Lady with a beautiful heart, a passion for piano, and an uncanny understanding of music theory. Her love and passion extends far beyond the walls of her classroom. Please help me welcome to the stage, Miss Mary Sutton.
Hello, y'all. My name is Mary. I'm Townsend. I've been with Music Compound for 5 years, and I've seen pretty much everybody. And it's been a big blessing, and I'm very thankful for my job. And tonight I wanted to talk a little bit about my boss, and a little bit about the staff, and a little bit about students that come in Music Compound. So first of all, Jenny, who I am so thankful for, I see her as Music Compound. She's a passionate person who dreams big and has goals. She does what she's passionate about with her discipline and her consistency. She's not afraid to fail. She's a hard worker, and she aspires to make a difference in others, and her staff, and students, in her community, her friends, and her family. So, Jenny, I'm thankful to you for investing into my life and into leaders to manage our students, and basically you encourage us to tend to the store, right? And thank you for modeling that can-do attitude. And Jenny, you help others, so therefore I consider you a success. You are an inspiration. To all you students out there, thank you so much for coming. When you step into the building, you are invited to be part of the family, and we are a family. Many friendships have been made and formed, and you students have a caring staff and supportive staff that would do anything for you. So you get to meet other students in the lounge and at concerts and at bands, and you get to inspire each other. You get to collaborate with all your friends while getting a professional music education. You get opportunities to perform on site, online, or in the community, or perform at home for your family. I am personally thankful for all the students that I have seen and had over the years, and it's been a privilege to teach each and every one. The staff, they're all professionals, and I feel so blessed and thankful that I've had the opportunity to work alongside them. They aspire to make a difference in all the students' lives. They make learning fun and a positive experience. They daily greet everyone with a smile, welcoming them and asking them how are they today. And we, staff, works to make a clean and safe environment for everybody and for the children. The staff is willing to improvise on the spot to make lessons successful. We're a diverse group, and everyone has a specialty, a talent, and just something special that they bring to the compound. But with everybody's unique specialties, we all have one common denominator. And you know what that is? Music, right? So I have one little quote that I wanted to share about music. So music is a science, it's mathematical, it's a foreign language, it's history, it's physical education for drummers. It develops insight, it demands research. It's all of these things, but most of all, music is an art. That's why we teach. We don't expect you to study and play or sing all your life, but you learn so that you'll be human, so you'll recognize beauty, so you'll be closer to the infinite beyond this world. So you will have something to cling to, so you will have more love, more compassion, more gentleness, more good, in short, more love. And with that, I would like to introduce Mr. Aaron Schiavone, who's been with Music Compound since 2018. Two youth bands, two adult bands, and hosts monthly jam sessions. He posts regularly online all of his practical tips. He's a fellow Midwesterner, and I do not hold it against him that he's a packerbacker. What would we do without Aaron? No wonder he's won the educational and inspirational awards at Music Compound. So everybody, please welcome Erin.
Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all feeling as good tonight as I am. Maybe not everybody. Is everyone feeling all right tonight? So when Jenny first asked me to speak tonight, she said it was because, and I quote, "You have been an instrumental part of our growth over the last few years. You have shown great leadership and such a great role model for all of us. And your great attitude and flexibility has impacted both staff and student alike. An instrumental part of our growth." Those are some impactful words, also a fantastic one. And it immediately made me think of my whole career at the music compound, which just flashed before my eyes. I would like to share some of that journey with you. I discovered MC by simply driving by and seeing the sign. And since my wife Alicia was driving, I was able to send my resume before we even got home. And having just moved to Florida, I was desperate for work in the music industry. And right as I got home, I got a phone call. And it was Tom. And he was excited about my resume as I was to receive his phone call. And after about 15 minutes or so, feeling out my skills and goals, he asked if I would be able to come in for an interview. So that very evening, I came in. And as I waited for Tom and Jenny to be available, I overheard two students in music class getting very nerdy about music theory. And it was at this point that I knew I found my home away from home. So Tom gave me a tour, and then Tom and Jenny and I all talked for a little while. And when asked what my biggest weakness was, I said my lack of experience, and my biggest strength was my willingness to grow and put my education to good use. And boy, did that. Immediately after the interview, I helped Tom run the kids' jam, and then we stayed after for the worship jam. And this was also my first step back to faith, and I will be eternally grateful for that. The following week, I did my very first summer camp, and then they had me come back every single week to teach every single summer camp that summer. Now, the timeline is going to start moving a bit fast from now on, because I want you to know how it felt. Just blink of an eye. Next, I was asked to lead our Kids Rock program. And it's a brand new program. I was essentially the will this program work guy. Then they began filling my private lesson schedule. They had me assist with the adult team. With each passing week, my start time got a little bit earlier, and my leave time got a little bit later. Then I was asked to lead our first adult band program, which eventually turned into 2 bands and a youth band. I was asked to teach an orchestra class, as well as teach in assisted living homes, and help out with all our community events. Basically, at this point, if MC did it, I was involved in some sort of way. And along the way, there was also countless performance opportunities for me to play my instrument and for me to play with my students as well. And every time I said yes, which was every single time, it seemed like that opened the door for even more opportunities. And at this point, I was busy Monday through Friday, from 1 to 8, sometimes even 9. And I was getting pretty good at teaching. And I had gained that experience that I once called my greatest weakness. Now, thanks to Music Compound and the staff and the students, it was my greatest strength. Then COVID hit, and everything we all knew had to change. It was time to learn new skills, teach in new ways, and get creative, get people engaged in music and optimistic about lifestyle. So we created a new program that I learned how to edit video, so we could still inspire, collaborate, and educate, even though we couldn't physically see each other anymore. I kept growing. But the thing is, I wasn't the only one. As I think back, everyone grew with me. Staff and student alike, we all grew. And that's the point that I'm getting at. Music Compound is so amazing because you get out of it exactly what you put into it. It doesn't matter if you're a teacher, a member, an administrator, it's the same for us all. We keep getting better and better while following our passions. It's a legitimate dream come true for so many of us. And I want to take a moment to thank everyone that made all that possible, that made tonight possible. This is a celebration for all of you and a testimony to what following your dreams can really do. Our next speaker is one of the nicest, most genuine people I've ever met in my entire life. And although he is one of our newer staff members, that didn't stop him from seizing every single opportunity that he had, even winning the Inspiration Award this past year. Please give a big hand for Matt Donovan. Welcome to stage.
Thank you so much, Aaron. That intro, I just feel so much love in the room, looking out here. Brandon, what's up? Natalia, what's up? You guys, there's so many out there that inspire me personally, and I just wanted to really briefly just share my journey of music, what actually got me here to Music Compound. And so I was joking earlier with my parents about, well, how is this speech going to go? And I said, well, you know, I could always start with, I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. It's a great town. So don't worry, I'm not going to give a whole history about where I'm from and all that. But what I wanted to share is music has always been there for me. And I started my musical journey at about the age of 6, playing piano. And I started with a traditional piano teacher. It was fun playing, you know, things like flamenco on the piano and everything. Then I wanted to learn Hill Street Blues. Does anybody in the room remember the show Hill Street Blues? Cool. All right. So, you know that theme. And it was at that point that my traditional piano teacher wasn't too pleased about that. And so my parents had the foresight to go and find another instructor that would guide me on that journey. And he happened to be a professor of jazz at the University of South Carolina. Dr. John Emke, just such a influence in my life to this day. He passed many years ago, but a lot of his teaching principles I really love to carry through. And music has taken me lots of places in life. I've been to Romania. I was able to play some keyboards there, bring some joy to some people, some places in Europe, all across the US. Music has always been there for me. Even if I land in the city, I'm not sure what's going to happen. There's always just this synchronicity that happens in music. And we learned about rhythm, but we also need to recognize that that kind of synchronicity happens in life. And so when I meet each of you, it's like that moment in time, there's something really special there. And when you feel that inspiration, keep going. Stay curious. That's the one thing that I really wanted to say is stay curious. That's what, if anything keeps me going in music, it's about that. It's about wondering what's next. What's another technique that I can work on? What's another song? Another chord? Stay curious. And so the journey about getting here, just really quickly, last year, around this time, is when my wife and I, Amy Rose, over there, we moved here, and to have my parents here tonight is really an amazing blessing that I'm so thankful for. They've been here for me in life. Mom grew up here in Sarasota. She is a Sarasota native. And she learned how to do the twist in this room, right here. So, amazing. And she is a miracle, the fact that she's here. The reason we came down was because she wasn't doing so well. And we were really concerned. and so decided to make the move. Right before we made the move, did a little search on Indeed and saw a posting for a piano teacher. And so reached out and started communicating a little bit with Tom. And Tom, we wrote back and forth, and I was just really encouraged. There was no actual guarantee, because we hadn't met in person and everything. But that was something I knew that when I got to town, I could meet with him and Jenny and interview and see what happened. Well, as I said, music has always been there for me in life, and it certainly was here for me in Sarasota. And at this time in life, I just love being able to see everything multiply. And when I look out here, I just see multiplication. And it's so amazing because the next generation of incredible musicians are learning how to collaborate. They're learning how to pass on the knowledge to one another. And they're learning how to inspire. And, when Natalia comes into the lesson, and she's been so committed to learning these songs that I'm not going to tell you what the titles are because when she performs it, it's going to be a surprise. But this is real stuff, and stuff that inspires me, the real work of going, okay, I'm going to work on, 8 measures of music and get it right. That inspires me. And so just to let you know, it's like a cycle of life kind of thing. We inspire each other. So just wanted to say thanks so much for including me and all of us in the MC family, Jenny, and all MC staff, and all of the members. Just looking forward to growing with you as the time goes on, and we're in the roaring 20s now, so that's this reference. All right, so who's ready to party? All right, thanks so much. Here is Jenny with our next festivity.
Alrighty. So I know that a lot of you are thinking, oh my gosh, there's so much talking, but I have to tell you, this is our celebration. I'm just so proud of everybody, and I just wanted not just me to talk, I wanted our staff to share their journey, and thank you so much to all of the individuals that spoke, Kaylee, Aaron, Mary, and Matt. Thank you so much. Okay, so just 2 more minutes. First of all, I want to say thank you again for everyone being here. I want to give a special thanks to Clayton's and Brew Burger for all the catering today. I want to give a huge shout out to Alicia for creating every single one of those posters. Speaking of those posters, they are all for you to take home. So if you see a poster that has you in it, or a family member, please take that poster home with you. We do not want to throw them away, and we definitely don't have room for those at the compound. Ask Jared. So please, take one of those posters home with you. I want to thank again all of our staff members, all of our members, and I want to give a huge shout out to my husband, David, for being supportive, for loving me, and for being along this ride. It hasn't been easy, and I literally love music compound, and he has to compete with that, so I'm sorry, honey. But he is amazing, and he's so supportive, and thank you, honey, I love you. Okay, so we're gonna be, thank you, transitioning over to our DJ in the party side of this party. But before that, we have one more person, maybe 2, I guess, that would like to say a few words. And you've heard from our staff, but now it's time for you to hear from one of our members. I would like to welcome to stage Mr. Braedon. Braedon was the individual that Kaylee was talking about a few years ago that had moved here and was looking to connect with other individuals. He's a drummer, and he's in 1 or 2 of our bands. He's in 2 bands. So he's going to quickly tell you something, I don't know what, he has to speak. And Mr. Caleb, I heard you wanted to say something? And then Mr. Caleb, who's in another one of our bands. And then we're going to party. Woo! Round of applause for Braedon.
Thank you. I'm Braedon. I've been music compound for 2.5 years. I moved here in 2018. New to the Sarasota area, and I was looking for a place to, drum, because prior to that, I had no real desire to drum. I was disconnected from it. I had my old teacher I had to leave from because we moved from Jacksonville. So when my dad got a new job at Borside, which is the main reason why we moved to Braedon, one of his, I guess, new people he was talking to mentioned Music Compound. So we connected with Music Compound. I got a tour from Kaylee, and I really loved it. I thought this was going to stick with it. So we started off with lessons. I got lessons from Jared, my drum instructor, my second favorite drummer. I first meet me. And I quickly connected with a lot of people. I connected with other staff. I made friends. My first summer camp was enjoyable, and that's where the iPad background pictures came from. I'm looking at you, Tom. That's going to stay forever. But no, other than that, it was really awesome. I thought, ever since I had my first performance there, I was like, I want to stick with this. So we stuck with Music Compound up until this day. Jared is still teaching me. I'm in 2 bands, Unspoken and Intellectuals. I played a number of shows with them. It's been an amazing experience. It's crazy to think that I was first recommended to drumming because one of our old worship pastors saw me dribbling a basketball with both of my hands. He thought, why not I start drumming? I got my first drum kit for my birthday when I was 11. It was a really, really good kit. And I look about it, when I look back at it now, I'm like, wow, that was a piece of junk. Now I have made so many friends. I've made Caleb specifically. My mom's dying over there. It's been amazing. I want to thank Jared, Kaylee, my dad who had jammed with me. Hi, Dad. I was about to embarrass him. I was about to tell him, stand up and take a bow. But he told me no, it's a joke. I also, last person I want to thank Tom specifically. Thanks for the picture, buddy. I want to thank Aaron. I want to thank everyone else I have known. And I want to thank Miss Jenny for being the best owner of a store I've ever seen. I really appreciate this experience I have gotten from where I've seen you 3 years ago to now. I definitely compare myself to now for many reasons. But yeah, I thank Music Compound for all the experiences I have gotten, and I would never go to another music school because this one just tops all the others.
We love you, Braedon.
Go, Braedon!
All right, we've got one more, and then we're gonna party. Our DJ's already in the spot. By the way, this is our dance floor. Mask will be required on the dance floor, just as an FYI. And I may pull out some moves for you guys.
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I really didn't see myself coming up and saying anything. I didn't have anything prepared, but seeing everybody here, seeing what we've accomplished in the past 5 years, I really felt like I needed to come up and just say how blown away I am by everyone, all the staff at Music Compound, all the people taking lessons. I mean, for me, I started off with no experience whatsoever. And if I wouldn't have had music compound, I have no clue where I'd be today. Like, I would be nowhere near where I am. I mean, 2 bands, Braedon's the best drummer in the world. I mean, I have no clue where I'd be. It's just crazy to think that 2 years ago I was a nobody, and now look where I'm at. I'm in front of all these people, these beautiful people coming up and supporting Music Compound for its 5th anniversary. So I just want to say I love you guys. Yeah, thanks for being here. And thank all the staff at Music Compound. Jared, you're the best band leader in the world. You're the best drummer. You're awesome. And thank you for teaching me guitar music theory. And yeah, let's party again.
All right, Lori, if we can dim those lights, we're ready to party.